share a little weekend trip that I did with Haley Marie Vintage. I will link her down below. She invited me on a weekend trip to a castle and to a vintage warehouse. You will have already seen the castle video. I decided to make that pretty short and sweet because I wasn't allowed to monetize it. The castle had the rule that you could film and share as much as you wanted. You just can't make money off of it. So Haley reserved a session to go to Glenna's Vintage, which is in Tacoma, Washington, and Glenna sells vintage on Etsy. I will link her Etsy and her Instagram and her Facebook down below. She's been in magazines, she sells to Hollywood, she sells internationally, and that in alone sounded really fun. But walking into the warehouse, we had no idea how much there was going to be, and we both really want to go back because I only got through 2 aisles. Haley got through more than I did, but because I'm plus size, I was searching a little bit longer to find pieces that I could try on for all of you, which you will see at the end of the video. Glenna herself was amazing. She was there the whole time. She had so much fun too. She loved seeing her vintage on body. I filmed as much as I could. I could have filmed more, but I got distracted just looking at all of the beautiful vintage. So today I'm going to share that little trip with all of you, and in the middle-ish of this video, you will see me try on some of the vintage pieces I found in my size. I want to say right here that I didn't find as much as Haley found because I am a larger size, and the larger vintage clothing was worn a lot more and got worn out and cut down into a smaller size, or just got worn to rags and thrown away, or in the case of somebody like the Hoarder House that Lacey Faye sent me a bunch of clothes from the Hoarder House. The people who bought the house didn't know anything about vintage and they were just going to throw it all away, and there were tons of plus size vintage pieces in that Hoarder House. But plus size vintage has always existed, plus size people have always existed, but the smaller pieces just made it through time because they weren't worn as often. They were preserved as cherished keepsakes, or you know, people's bodies changed as they got older, and so they kept the smaller size to pass down to somebody else, and then they wore their larger sizes out. They made their own, they repurposed and recycled and reused, and all of that happened. So that's why we don't have a lot of plus size vintage today. A lot of people think that people my size didn't exist back then, and that's very much not true. I have a really exciting video coming out sharing actual photos of vintage people who were plus size, and then I'm going to share all my plus size vintage clothing, but that is for another day. Today we're going to go to Glenna's Vintage Warehouse? Glenna's Vintage Warehouse, and look at all of the pretty clothes, and I hope that you enjoy this video.
So this is what we saw first when we walked into Glenna's. We thought this was all that there was. A bunch of hanging racks. There was a whole nother side that I didn't even film. And here you can see Haley looking through the shelving of all of the clothes. This is what we thought it was, and we thought this was super cool. We were so excited. And then we realized, as Glenna took us through the door, that there was an entire warehouse. I cannot express to you how massive this warehouse was. I have never in my life seen so much vintage together in one place. We guesstimated that there's probably at least 9,000 pieces in this room alone. There has to be. A lot of the bags that you see hanging on those racks are full of multiple dresses, and she had an entire side of just Etsy items, just things that she put on Etsy, which is what you're seeing right now. I cannot wrap my head around it. Still, to this day, I cannot even express how huge this place was. So now you can kind of see why I only got through 2 racks, because there were thousands of items, and I just had so much fun shopping and searching through these racks. I am a searcher. I will literally look at every single item, and especially because I am a larger size in vintage, it is often necessary to go through each item. So I only got through the 1940s and 1950s racks, and not even all of them then. I probably only looked through maybe half of what was on each rack. And it was so much fun. Every single piece that she picked was beautiful. I could have spent a week there and not gotten through all of it. But I did pull some items that you will see me try on a little later. I can't express how fun it was, and I cannot thank Haley enough for inviting me and for setting up this little session. I am really absolutely going to go back to Glenna's and shop some more, because she herself was also extremely delightful, and she seemed to really love seeing us there and just interacting, we learned that she only has boys, so having a couple of girls there trying on all the clothes was super fun for her, as fun for her as it was for us. But here you can see I am just showing off some of the details of the items. This yellow dress was exquisite. I loved the print on this. It was like a bird embroidery. And just, I wish I could take all of you with me. This dress in particular had such stunning details on it. I could not believe how beautiful some of these pieces were, and the beading and the details in the 40s dresses. Oh my goodness. I'm at a loss for words to describe to you how incredible it was to be here looking through all these racks of vintage. Whether they would have fit me or not, I don't really care. I just love being able to look at everything and enjoy the beauty of the details in vintage clothing. It is like nothing else. So here we are getting into the try on. I pulled about 10 dresses to try on. I did find more that would have fit me, but I wanted to be specific in what I was trying on just because I wanted to buy something as well. So this is the dress that I did end up buying. This is actually a reproduction piece, and it was out in her sale area, which is the first area that we saw. And it's so pretty and it's so well made, and I wish I knew who made it because they did an excellent job. This piece was just a fun try on. It was out in her sale area and she didn't really know what it looked like on, so she wanted me to try it on. It's hilariously fluffy and poofy, and we decided I looked like a fairy godmother. This is a 70s dress or an 80s dress that I actually had the sash on backwards, but I thought it looked pretty cute. This one is a 1950s or maybe early 60s dress in a size too large for me. I think it was actually like a 48 bust and a 38 to 40 waist, but I wanted to try it on just to show it to all of you because it was really cute and it felt really nice. This fabric felt so nice. This one is a 1940s gown that you can see I don't have it zipped up all the way because it doesn't belong to me, and it would have zipped if I had been more brave, but I didn't want to rip anything I wasn't going to buy. This next piece is another one of my favorites. I really loved it, but I didn't have the budget for it. It is a 1940s house dress in the most beautiful print of pink roses on navy blue, and just every detail was so perfect. I have actually messaged Glenna to ask if she wouldn't mind holding it for me because I just keep thinking about this dress. It's so beautiful. Here is a swirl dress. I'm sorry you can't see the details of this one very well. It was pink striped with tulips at the bottom. Swirl dresses are the wrap dress of the time in the 50s, and they're super fun. I have quite a few of them, so it was fun to find another one. And surprisingly, this evening gown, which again you can see I don't have fully zipped just because I didn't want to accidentally ruin anything. This one was pink underneath and pastel blue over the top, and I thought it was so gorgeous. Those details, I would love to have a dress like this in my wardrobe for fancy events. And I'm sorry this is out of focus, but I wanted to share it because this was a pretty cute like 60s dress with some interesting details, but unfortunately I forgot to redo my focus after I put it on, so you kind of just get a blurry look at it. This is the one thing I did pick up from the 70s racks when I very quickly went through towards the end of our visit there. I just thought it was really cute, like sailor inspired, kind of 70s those 40s with the polka dots and everything. And then here's Haley in a dress that I made her try on because the details of this dress are just absolutely stunning and it needed to be on a body. So then we're moving on to the hat room, which was also Glenna's office. She did ask not to be filmed, but she was fine with us filming the rest of the place. So I do have some angles here that might feel a little bit awkward because I was trying to respect that. But while we were kind of waiting for her to check everything out that Haley got, I decided to try on a bunch of hats for the fun of it. She had some incredible hats. This one was so beautiful with the see-through detailing, and I had so much fun trying them on. This one reminded me a little bit of like Mary Poppins. I loved looking through all of her hats. I could have spent an entire day just in this room. Like, she had so many really, really interesting things. And to be honest, I can see myself having a room like this someday because I already have quite a few hats. Overall, it was just amazing to go somewhere where there were just so many things to look at. I don't think we even got through a quarter of the items in this room alone. It was just incredible. And she has such impeccable taste that everything was fun to look at. And that is about it. Right here, I just want to say a big thank you to Glenna for letting us come and try on all the pretty things. And then also, I just have to pause and say how amazing Haley is. It was incredible getting to meet her in person. We had been talking since about September of last year, and we had planned to meet up at some point. So when she invited me along, I was super excited. We had so much fun getting to know each other, and she is so talented and creative. I would highly recommend you go subscribe to her channel and check her out if you like sewing adventures. She has a lot of talent for sewing. I'm very impressed by her sewing ability, so go check her out. I cannot say enough good things about Haley.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to go over to Haley's channel. She is sharing her 2 videos. Don't forget to go and subscribe to her. She is lovely. I had so much fun meeting her. It was the first time we'd met in person, and it was the best weekend. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen the photos of us together where we could not stop laughing because we're both very awkward with other people, and it was really entertaining. But with all that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that if you are new, you will have subscribed by now. I would love to have you here. And that's it. Don't forget, if you would like to support my channel in more ways than just liking and subscribing and commenting, you can go check out my Ko-Fi link where you can tip me for the work that I do here on the channel. It is super helpful because I am still a smaller channel, and as I endeavor to make this something that is paying for itself in the very least, it's always really helpful and lovely to have people checking out the Ko-Fi link. I will also probably try to start sharing more little tidbits there that you won't see on the channel or anywhere else on social media. So I think you can follow my Ko-Fi page. If that's not your thing, you can also check out my merch store, which I have not updated since I changed my name, and I should probably do that. But you can check it out if you want a coffee mug or a poster or a t-shirt or something fun from my channel. You can do that. And that is my outro. I hope that wherever you are feeling safe and loved. And until I see you again, have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching. Bye!